Welcome back to another episode of the Black Bullion Show. How do we establish support and resistance levels with silver? Well, I got one word for you, and it's Fibonacci. Now, before we get into it, I just got to say, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Also, please give the video a like. It helps get the YouTube algorithm working to help get this economic evangelism out there to bring more people into the precious metals camp. And also, if you would like to just get a quick video synopsis of this, because this one will be pretty in-depth, check it out in the description below without having to watch the full video. Now, let's get into it because I don't want to waste too much time. Now, I'm not going to go and give you the full history of Fibonacci and why it's important. Instead, I'll link some articles in the description below as well. So I decided to do this video based on an article that Chris Vermeulen wrote for Kitco describing his proprietary Fibonacci models and how it helped him predict movement with silver and gold. So I decided to break down Fibonacci and how traders use it to establish and figure out where the resistance or support levels are. So I'm going to break it down here with the trusty Google Doc. And I'm just going to read this for you guys. So how to forecast silver price using what's known as Fibonacci retracements. Now, disclaimer, trading with Fibonacci retracements should be done in conjunction with other metrics and tools. So let's assume we are currently in a large upward trend in silver. We had an average low on March 19th around $12.08. We had an average high on April 14th around $16.06. Okay. So we had this range here. Now, how do we know if silver will move up or down? We know this based on short-term traders who trade Fibonacci retracements. So what are Fibonacci retracements? It's a short-term price correction during an overall larger upward or downward trend. Now, in this example, we're looking at an upward trend. Why do they occur? Well, primarily because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Many short-term traders know others trade Fibonacci retracements. An unspoken order to the chaos of markets is then established, and traders begin to watch out for key peaks and troughs within a range of prices. So here are the percentages. And you can kind of think of them as the peaks and troughs that many traders pay attention to. They pay attention to the 38.2% of that range between $16 and $12, 50% of that range, and 61.8% of that range. So with silver, we have a range of 3.98. How do we get that? We get that by subtracting $16.06 by $12.08. We get $3.98. So now we need to figure out, well, what is 38.2% of this 3.98 range? Well, that equals 1.52. 50% of that is 1.99, and 61.8% of that is 3.98. Now, again, I'm not going to go into why these numbers are chosen specifically, but it has to do with Fibonacci. Check out those articles that I'll link in the description. So what do we do with these numbers? We subtract them from the peak price of $16.06. The results will be potential support levels for silver. At the 38.2% level, we will create a support level at $14.54. Now, if you guys remember, we didn't really go below that at all. Now, that's going to be important, and I'll tell you why. At the 50% level, we will create a support level at $14.07. At the 61.8% level, we will create a support level at $13.61. So Now, this is the important part that I just mentioned, why to pay attention to, how we didn't go past $14.54. So if silver begins to trend upward and then pulls back past 38.2%, so it goes lower than 38.2%, there may be a possibility that the upward movement has ended. If it pulls back past 50%, there is a high chance that the upward movement has ended. Now remember, right now I'm recording this on May 15th of 2020. Currently, silver is in the $16 range. Now, obviously, for a very long time, when silver was moving around, it did not go below $14.54 in recent days, or I should say recent weeks. Now, if it would have gone below that, we could then say there's a possibility that this upward momentum is ending. Now, if it would have gone past below 50%, mind you, 50% would be at $14.07, then there is a high chance that that upward movement ended. Let's continue. Short-term traders will establish stop losses just below this 32.8% or 50% percentage level to prevent themselves from losing more money. Now, why would they do that? Because if, again, there's upward trajectory and there's a pullback past 38.2, there's a possibility that the upward movement actually has no legs and it ended. So they'll put a stop loss right below 38.2 to prevent them from losing more money. Let's continue. Well, what about forecasting upward movement? So this is the stuff that we will be focusing on to figure out what we could possibly see in the future. Short-term traders establish take profits at Fibonacci percentages above the peak. Take profits is similar to stop losses, but it's the opposite. So let's do a little forecasting where silver could be. Remember that we have the following percentages: 38.2% of 3.98, and so on and so forth. Instead of subtracting them from the peak, we will add them onto the peak. So at the 38.2% level, we will then create a resistance level at $17.58. So this is going to be the first one for all of us to pay attention to. As silver moves up, if it hits around this range, now again, this isn't going to be perfect, but if it gets close to this range and then we start to see people, I guess I could say selling and the price coming down, then we may know, okay, this might be the new established resistance point. At the 50% level, we will create a resistance point at $18.05. At the 61.8% level, we will create a resistance level at $18.51. Now, traders may also establish take profit points at the following percentages: 138.2%, 150%, and 161.8% of that same range. And these are the numbers that you'll get from that. So let's add. At 138.2% level, we will create a resistance level at $21.56. At the 150% level, we will create a resistance level at $22.03. At the 161.8% level, we will create a resistance level at $22.49. Now, I want to just say that when you establish take profits, as a trader, you are then saying, I don't see this particular asset going any higher anytime soon. So I'm going to take my money, at $21. Or someone might say, well, I'm going to put my take profit at $22.03. Someone else might say, I'm going to take my take profit at $22.49. And then we'll start to see silver coming down as more and more traders take their profits and there's a sell-off. So now remember, all of this happens within an assumed larger trend. this doesn't just happen like, willy-nilly. We have to assume that there's going to be a larger trend happening, either upward or downward. So this was a quick, very, very, very quick way of looking at Fibonacci, using Fibonacci retracements and extensions to establish where support levels might be and where resistance levels may be. So take a look at where silver has been going over time. This is where we are right now. We're at $16.62. Now, remember, we were at this peak and we didn't go down past $14.54. Then we went up $15.25. Then we went back down. And now as we went down, people were probably thinking, well, if we hit $14.54, then this rally might not have legs. But obviously, it didn't do that. So then now traders are starting to think, okay, now I have a little bit more confidence. Let's start adding some more risk to the, risk onto the table. So that is probably why we are seeing a more upward trajectory, as again, people who trade on Fibonacci retracements, they almost establish this self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, again, there's another reason why Fibonacci retracements and Fibonacci numbers are so important. It has to do with the golden ratio and all that stuff. But I will leave that to you guys to figure out on your own. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. Mind you, you need to take into consideration other metrics, not just the Fibonacci retracements, to figure out support and resistance levels. All right, guys, please give me a like. Please subscribe if you're new. Thanks again for watching. It's Black Bullion.